Matthew house. Matthew, it was a general, English general. This guy, it was the first British governor who buys this island from Arab people. Then they plan to make a private prison inside in the island. They call it Sir William Shelford Matthew. It was the English army. Yes, brother. It was the English army. So they buy this island from Arab people. Then they plan to make first they made a special house for him. Then later they built that house. This guy, they have other opportunity because it was the first minister of the government of Zanzibar, the William Matthew. They get the opportunity to be first minister of the government of Zanzibar. William Matthew, it was born in Madeira, but they get also other opportunity because when they come from Madeira, they come straight from Madeira to Zanzibar because the English, they import him to here because the English, they join business with Arab people. So when they come in here, they get opportunity also to be the chief of English Army, Navy. So they be around here. It was the security for first Sultan, and later they buy this island because they have a lot of money. They buy this island from Arab, then they made this private house for him. Then on the other side, they made a prison. But this guy also, remember, they die here in Zanzibar. They die inside in this island. But not a lot of people know about William Matthew because Matthew, they die here, and also people, they bury that side. Let's walk around here. I'll show you something. Dada, unaweza kukata hapo au pita huko maana katiza mbele tu. Yes. So this is the William Matthew house. Now he's using as a restaurant. William Shelford Matthew. So outside of this, in nature, this guy, they build here. The cable for Sir William Matthew is here. And but the problem with it is, the people who are coming to just make renovation around in this island, they don't care about him because you know it was the Arab. So the Arabs, they're going against with English people. After stop to use this prison here, so they're going against it. So that's why when they die, people, they come in and bail here. But you know issue it is, when they are Christian die, people, they have to keep the sign of the. So that sign, people, they not like it because they remember Zanzibar is the Arab colony. So they don't want to see that sign. So that's why they have to break this cave here because they don't want to see. This is the problem. But the Sir William Matthew Shelford is bailing people. They bailing here. Our
his body is lying here.
Yeah, it's here. Yeah.
So he was an Englishman.
Yeah, Englishman, and also he was a Christian. Yeah, so that's why they don't want, when they die, they're not going to bury in the museum, in the historic place. They want to bury here because it was a Christian. And also,
Christian, this is a Muslim area.
Yes, and also the people, they don't like him because why? They stopped the business of trade slave around in all East Africa because they signed Matthew restaurant. Matthew. So they stop, they ignore the business because the Arab people, they want to continue the business around in all East Africa, in Zanzibar, Bagamoyo, in the other side, because in Zanzibar it was a main. Zanzibar, it was a it was the center of the business. The old people who are coming to buy, and the old slaves coming in sit in Zanzibar, then they go in wherever they go in the world. But they coming from Zanzibar. They collect slave around in all East Africa. So then they send here in Zanzibar. When they come in here, they plan, you go in America, you go in Arab, you go in Oman, because some of they go in Oman, some of they go in Europe, some of they go in some Asian country. They go in a lot of country in the world because they're going to do the hard work. Yeah, they're just using as a cheap labor. Because you know issue it is, You take a strong man, 5 people, then they give you $500. How much? They give you $500 because people, they don't have money. So they're making a trade business. They give people, then they get money. So they sell people, then they get money. So they.
And who used to sell people?
Arab, when it was the Arab, because the people who are starting.
And who sold people to Arab?
There's some teamwork from the Arab people, because you know Arab, it was they have a lot of power. You know, in Bagamoyo also, when you go Bagamoyo, when you go Mafia, when you go Tanga, near to, there's one location which is calling Muheza. It was one camp also for Arab people. The Arab, they're going to collect a lot of people, they keep somewhere, then they put in the, people, they working hard. They working more than 24 days around in the, everyone they have a chain in the neck, in the hand, and in the leg. People, they working like this. So they working far. Sometimes they stay some of the day in the forest. They just getting nice place for enjoyment, for just getting water and food, small food. Then they walk. They walk step by step, village by village. So then some of the die. If we were die, they just move in the chain. Then they throw away, not bury. They just throw away whatever they want. So. You know, whatever you talk about slavery, you're talking about a pain in Africa. So a lot of people, they are very bad when they get information about the slavery business around in the, including Zanzibar. Because in Zanzibar, when they start this business, a lot of people die. A lot of people getting damaged because they lost their hands, they lost the egg, whatever. But inside in the business. Because remember, the people who are starting the business of trade slave around in the world, it was the Portuguese. Portuguese are starting the business in the world. Because why? Yes, because the economy of a Portuguese country, it was very low. So they plan, what can I do? They working around in all of East Africa. When they see in Africa East, they see there is very strong people. You know, in Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, Mali, Ethiopia somehow, and Congo also, there's one of the side they pass. So the place which they going, they just see the strong people. They just collect the strong people, they plan. I collect the people here, then I go to sell it. I sell I just plan to make some special place to sell, because this business, whatever I sell, people, they get money. They just think, no any business to do with European people, Arab people, because Arab people, they have a lot of money. But how can you get money from Arab? You have to do something. So that's why they plan to take people to sell in, to give in Arab, then to get money from Arab people in dialect.
Okay, I'll ask the question in Swahili.
Yeah.
Hawa watu, yani hawa watu ambao wanauza, ilikuwa ni sisi tunauza kwa watu, tunafanya kwa Arabu ama kwa sababu Mwarabu hawezi kuacha mnakupata barabarani.
Waarabu walikuwa na vijiji vyote kama vile tunavyosema sasa hivi kuna wenye viti wa vitongoji. Sasa wakati ule wa ukoloni kulikuwa kuna kitu wametengeneza, yani wametengeneza kama community, kwamba tuna watu special tumewatengeneza, kila mji tunaoingiza wakaangalia, ambao wana chief, wana king wa ule mtaa ambaye ni nani? Ni Mwarabu. Yani wanakuwa na mtu ambaye
alikuwa anamuuzia Mwarabu sisi weusi.
Sisi weusi hatukuwa tunauzwa na weusi wenzetu. Sisi yani sisi weusi tulikuwa tunaenda kuchukuliwa na Waarabu kwenye vijiji, wanapita kwenye vijiji.
Oh, so we didn't sell ourselves.
No.
So the Arab used to take us from our village.
From the village, then they send in Bagamoyo, Mafia, Kilwa. You see like that Kilwa Masoko. Yeah. Kwa hiyo wao ndo wanakuja kutuchukua, alafu wanawapeleka sehemu, wanasafirisha. Kwa hiyo kuna mtu ambaye alikuwa ni chief kwenye ile business, ambao walikuwa ni Portuguese hao. Portuguese ndio walikuwa wana support ile biashara. Kwa hiyo wanakutuma nenda Mwanza, wanakupa pesa kwamba hizi pesa zinakutosha kutumia Mwanza wewe. Hawa watu utakaochukua unaambia bwana nishapata watu labda 500. Ukiondoka nao kule wanapigia hesabu watu 500 watakula chakula kiasi gani. Sasa ukichondoka nao, ndio maana wanatakiwa kupita kando ya mito kwa ajili ya kupunguza kuminimize matumizi. Wanakunywa maji, wengine wanafika kwenye sehemu vingine wanakula ndizi, miwa, wanakuwa njiani wanakula tu.
Wao walikuwa wanatekwa au walikuwa wanafanya au tuusi?
Watu wote walikuwa wanatekwa, sio kwamba walikuwa wanaenda kwa hiari. Ndio maana unaona wengine walikimbia. Ndio maana unaona wengine walikimbia. walikuwa sio kwamba kwa hiari kwamba mimi nakubali niende mtumwa, hapana, walikuwa wanachukuliwa kwa nguvu. Hakukuwa na mtu wa kuweza kuwatetea.
Okay. So what he's saying, every village had someone.
Chief.
Had a chief.
Yes.
The chief was Arab, right?
Yes.
Yeah, the Arab chief.
Yeah.
So Arab chief used to recruit people to go and abduct people, the black people.
Yeah.
You know, they'll find you somewhere. So they go around picking the strong ones.
Yeah.
So at the same Arab used to pick us, who used to pick people? Arabu walikuwa wanatuchukua ama walikuwa yani Arabu walikuwa na Arabu wenzake au ilikuwa?
Walikuwa wanaenda na Waarabu, yani wanakuja Waarabu hapa, wakija kwenye vile wanaangalia wale watu wanaotaka, alafu wanafanyaje? Watu wanakamatwa, wanafungwa. Wakishafungwa tayari.
Huyo chief alikuwa na huyo chief ni Mwarabu.
Kila kijiji
anakuja na Waarabu wenzake pia.
Anakuja na Waarabu.
Timu yake.
Anakuja na timu yake. Walikuwa na community.
Okay. So every village they used to have a chief, and this chief is Arab.
Yeah.
So the chief used to have his people. The people were still Arabs. So they used to walk around the village, abducting people and put them together and sell them to the
walikuwa wanawaleta kwanza Zanzibar. Wakishawaleta Zanzibar au Kilwa Masoko, hawa sasa wanawauza wao, wanauza kama wanauzia wazungu, mfano wanapeleka Europe, wanapeleka Asia country.
Na
Portuguese wao ndo walikuwa ndo aloza, yani tuseme Portuguese alikuwa niona ile biashara, lakini yeye sasa anakutafutia yeye ndo mwenye pesa, anakutafutia soko kwamba wewe si Mwarabu, una wangapi? Na 50. Anakuja hapa anakuambia hawa 50, 30 nachukua bure, 20 nakupa pesa, kwa sababu huna pesa.
Mwarabu alikuwa hana pesa.
Mwarabu sasa hana pesa za kuwasafirisha, za kuwapeleka kule. Kwa hiyo sasa analeta watu labda 500, anaambia katika watu 500, 200 nachukua mimi kwa gharama zangu zile ulizotumia zote, alafu hawa ndio tunaenda na kupelekea kwenda kuuza kwenye soko. Na kupeleka labda Omani kwa ajili ya kwenda kufanyishwa kazi kwenye mitende.
Portuguese wanachukua watu ama ni
yaani Portuguese alikuwa ndo tajiri mkubwa ile biashara. Kwa hiyo yeye anakupa connection.
Nenda kijiji kile.
Nenda kijiji kile, alafu hawa wapeleke mfano wapeleke Egypt.
Okay.
Ukiwapeleka Egypt tayari ashatengeneza connection.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo hawa wakipelekwa pale, wakifika kuna mtu anakuja kuwapokea, kwa sababu ukumbuka alikuwa anasafiri kwa madau. Hivi sailing boat.
Okay.
Ndio anasafiri nazo. Kwa hiyo anachukua muda mwingi kusafiri. Kwa wanasafirishwa kutoka hapa kwenda sehemu nyingine, wakifika pale tena wanakuja kuchukuliwa tena kupelekwa sehemu nyingine. Kwa kila mtu anakuja kupoint zile namba zake anazotaka, 1 2 3. Mimi nilikuwa na watu 100, hawa anapewa pesa, anapokea ona wa biashara mkwani ambaye ni Portuguese. Alafu wewe sasa ndio Portuguese bwana, wale katika wale tuliopeleka 500, 200 ni wangu mimi, 300 ni wako. Sawa. Kwa hiyo haya 300 sasa ndio wanaofanyaje?
Wao walikuwa wanauza ni Waarabu, wanauzia Portuguese.
Waarabu unao wale wanauzia Portuguese. Sasa baadaye wakati biashara ishakuwa tayari ishawakolea, ambayo ilikuwa mwaka 1880, wakati biashara tayari ishakuwa iko wiki. Kwani ishakuwa
1880.
Biashara ilikuwa ni kubwa. Yaani washapata jina. Kwa hiyo ndio wao sasa Waarabu wakawa wanatumia nguvu, wanataka wakauze wenyewe. Kabla Waarabu kutaka kuuza wenyewe, sasa ndio ikaingia mkanganyiko kati ya British hao. British wakawa wanataka kutumia njia ya kustop hii biashara. Watatumia njia gani? Wakamconvince sultani wa kwanza kustop biashara, akakataa.
Wewe hapo nimuuliza after tuendelea. So what he's saying that every village had a chief, an Arab chief, and this Arab chief had his people, his team. So they used to walk in the village, abduct people, put them together. And then the work of the Portuguese, the one who used to have money initially. So they used to take these people and sell them to Arabs, to the Portuguese. So how they used to do, for example, you take like 500 people. So because Arab by then didn't have money, they used to depend on Portuguese. So they used to ask, they used to like negotiate, like maybe I'm going to have 500 people. So the Portuguese give them money to go and get people. Like this money will be able to take, for example, 500 people. Then go and find those 500 people. So it will cover food and all those things. But because they wanted to save money still, so they used to work. They used to ask these Africans. They used to walk with them along the riverbank so that they can drink water, they can find something to eat, just for them to keep money in their pocket because they've been paid already by the Portuguese. So when they reached their destination, that was now in Zanzibar, then they will agree that out of 500, I'll have, like now the Portuguese say, I'll take 300, 200 is mine. So instead of paying 500, before instead of paying the whole amount to the Arabs, they used to negotiate. So wale bure walikuwa wanachukua nani? Wale bure. Wale bure nani alikuwa?
Bure anachukua yeye.
Mwarabu.
Wewe nani Portuguese anachukua.
Now because the business belongs to the Portuguese, say maybe out of 500, I'll only pay 300. So 200 is free. So the amount they have agreed, half would go to Portuguese, and then they'll pay half of the people. Then, now the reason there is by then Arab didn't have connections to the world, so it's the Portuguese who had connections. Then they'll tell you now you can find market in the US. So they used to find market for these African people. So Arabs they collect the African people. The Portuguese find the market for the African people. Like you go Oman, go wherever you're going. Then later on, the white man came. Now that's the Englishman who used to stay here. So when the Englishman came, now he wanted. So before the Englishman came, 1890. That's the time the business was booming. This business was booming. So what happened? Now the Arab got greedy. They wanted now to do the business on their own. They wanted to take advantage of the Portuguese because now they know the connection. Yes, now they know the business, so they want to take the slavery business. Then the white man came in the picture. The British man came in the picture. Now British man wanted to stop slavery, so that's how now they started. He went to the Arab, saying, I want you guys to stop the slavery. Then what happens after? You can take it from there.
Yeah, but when they want to stop this business, so Arabs they say they don't want, because the first sultan of the government of Zanzibar, they say no, they don't want to sell, they don't want to stop the business because they want money. So how can I stop this business? The British people, they suggested to use the good way. They just try to import one of the lawyer from India, because remember also India, it was a English colony. So they import one man who are calling Sir Dolado. Dolado, it was Indian Goa. So when Dolado coming, when they coming here, they started fighting with Arab people. They started to go in the court with Arab people to stop. They send a lot of information into the world about Zanzibar. People, the Arab people, they kill people. They're doing a lot of bad things in the city. Because the people also, they don't want to go into sell in Arab because they know what life they live with the Arab people. Because remember, whatever we talk about Stone Town also, that Stone Town, it was a street for the Arab people only. You can't see any black people around in that city. It was a special city for the Arab people only. So that's why the black people, they're very hungry when they get information about that. No Portuguese now, the business is belong to Arab only. So people, they say, oh my God, they can kill us everywhere. So that's why when the people coming, the British, they plan, it was 1893, British, they planned to make this private prison around in this island, officially for slave. But after finish to make this prison, you know what they're doing? After finish, it was the end of the business of trade slave. Because why? The British people, they just light a lot of brochure in the world. They campaign in the whole world. Whatever you buy slave from East Africa, they have a pandemic disease. So the British, they just send bad history about in the world to stop the business. But they think, how can I stop this business? It's better to use this way to say there is a pandemic disease in Zanzibar. So when they publish in the world, the whole slave which is coming from East Africa, they have a pandemic disease. All European people, all Arab people, also some of the Arab in the Oman, they buy, in the Qatar, they buy. They say, no, I don't want to buy any slave from East Africa because they have information they have a pandemic disease, yellow fever, cholera, diarrhea. So that's why they say now business is stopped. So also, the men who are calling Sir Dolado, they're using a lot of power to stop this business. That's why they get opportunity also to work with the first president of the government of Zanzibar. because they say no business. It was the men who are going also to sign the end of the business of trade slave around. So that's why the government, they give opportunity William Messi when they build here, because they just build the place which they do, because they do a lot of power. They get a lot of problem in the Arab because they stop also the business. They just going against with the Arab people. So that's why they get the opportunity to stop the business of trade slave around it, all East Africa.
Okay.
Yes. Hakuna matata. Any question?
No.
Okay. So now we're going to visit to see the prison. Prison is this way.
But what now I don't understand. So you said this prison was never used.
Yeah.
So where were the prison kept those days?
That side. You're going to see now the prison building.
Kaka, you said waje kuweka watumwa hapo. Watumwa walikuwa ni kwa gapi kabla?
Before it was inside in the slave market, because
Where?
it was
In Stone Town.
Yeah, in that church. Yeah. It was also chamber for slave inside.
Oh, so they used to stay in Stone Town.
Yeah, in Stone Town. Yeah.
Kuna huko kuna nini?
Huku tunaenda kuangalia gereza.
Tena wewe kunika.
Lakini tunafanya kuonyesha kwamba imejengwa kwa gereza.
Na nini ambacho hapo mimi nakujua watumwa walikuwa Zanzibar.
Kule Stone Town pale kuna zini kanisani. Kujengia pale kanisani.
Hapa ndio unaona sasa pale.
Wapo utakuja kuona chimbo kuslave kwa yetu ya watumwa yote utayaona pale.
Unajui nipeleke basi.
Kama pale umpeleke pale kanisani. Sababu unapoongelea trade business yani ni biashara lazima uingie pale mkono utapata
Bali ndio unapata bali ndio kila kitu. Mahandaki chini kwa na wanatumboni mahandaki.
Ambao tunasema chamber for slave.
This was they are confusing us. They say this was never used as a prison. Then what was the point of calling it prison and it was never used as a prison? Are they calling us?
Your people, right?
No, they say it was built as a prison, but by the time it was built, that's the end of slavery. So the actual prison is in town. It's not even here.
Oh, that's downtown.
He said he'll take us. This was meant. This was meant like a quarantine area. But they used to have like a yellow fever. So they used to take. If you're sick, they used to bring here so that either you recover or you die, so that you don't spread the disease. So this they went to this place, but it was not a prison. Like, what the hell? What do they like?
Oh yeah, I've been thinking all y'all lied was prison.
No, me, I never cared, so I never used to know about this stuff. So in my head, yeah, like the old people just trying to get money.
So this is a prison, eh? Prison building. So this it was the first door in this prison, eh? The second is that one, but the first it was this. So after changing plan to use this building as a quarantine station, they planned to change the doors. Whatever you walk inside, you can see some changes because they use it as a quarantine station. But in the prison time, it was no big window like this one which you saw now.
Okay.
It was only a small window like this.
Okay.
You can see the small window here.
Oh, this is not the original door. This is the original.
Yeah. Original door window it was that. But later when they change the plan of the quarantine, they have to keep big doors and the windows because the sick people they need light, they need fresh air, so that's why they keep big doors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Jambo. Kuna matata.
everybody take photo if you want to see it as well as no problem.
So this it was a sign because you remember the plan it was to be prison. So this is especially for chaining. So whatever you walk around in the whole building, you can see this thing because the plan it was to be here. So, but they never use because when they finished to prepare this, it was the end of the business of hotel Zanzibar and all that stuff.
So who built this and who stopped this?
The men who are built this, it was the Sir William Shelford Massey.
So the white people built this to make it a prison.
Yes.
Then they stop again.
They just using blame because they try to find the way which is a good to stop this business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
so when they build it, they say this is going to be a prison.
Yes.
But in real sense, it was supposed to be a quarantine.
Yes, when they finish, it was the end of the business of hotel.
Wow.
So they get opportunity.
No, I understand now. Okay. Okay.
So the lady which you see here is called Siti Binti Saadi. Siti Binti Saadi is the first musician in Talab music in Zanzibar. So in the Sultan time, they get opportunity to be like a queen of Zanzibar because it was the first musician in Zanzibar.
Is she Arab or African?
African lady.
African
Yeah, black one. Yeah, Siti Binti Saadi.
Siti
Binti Saadi.
When did she die?
Yeah. It was 1070 kama mwaka 1974 amekufa.
1974. Oh, 1974. She died 1974.
74, yeah. So and also remember I talking about that guy who are calling Sir Dolado. Dolado, it was the Indian Goa. It was the first royal in the government of Zanzibar. Also, it was using a lot of power to stop the business of trade slave around in all East Africa. So it was some of the men who were signing the contract end of the business of slave.
So it's Indian?
Indian, yes. It was a black Indian.
His name is?
Dolado.
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 A black?
Yeah, black Indian. Sir Dolado.
Sir Dolado.
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 Dolado, yes. It was the first royal in the government of Zanzibar. But now this area is using as a bar. So the prison before, it was a roof in top. So that's why you can see the point of the roof. When they plan to use the prison, they have a roof. But in the roof, they just using before, there is some sheet which they calling asbestos. You know asbestos? Asbestos, the sheet.
The sheets, the iron sheet.
Yeah. So asbestos in the world, the people they complain about, they talking about cancer. So that's why they stop using the asbestos stone. So this building before, it was using a sheet which is calling asbestos. But later when they change the plan, they remove all asbestos, they're using iron sheet. But lakini sio udongo zile, tumia madini fulani ambayo wanasema yale madini yana sumu inayosababisha watu kupata kansa. Asbestos. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, so that's what they used to stop.
Yes.
Now they use which?
They're using iron sheet.
The iron sheet, there are more iron sheet.
Yeah.
Limestone, coral stone, and sand.
So when people they plan to do this it was a way. The old people who are coming inside in the quarantine, they're using this way to in and out. So this it was mainly to not that side. Before the port it was here, not that side. But later when they change the plan to use this island as a resort, they change the location of the port. They're using that side because sometimes this area is not safe. Because sometimes there's a high tide and low tide. So when it's low tide, it's not possible to go up and down. So that's why they change the location, they use that side. So,
Going out.
Hakuna matatu.
Hakuna matatu.
Ilikuwa kuna ngazi zinaenda kupumzika baada ya kuja kuitumia.
say about the cliff?
Initially, it was used as a port. So I was asking, like, how are they going down? They said those are doors.
Yeah, some stairs which they going down, but later when they stop using this, they just remove everything here. Yeah. Yeah, baada ya revolution.
The